I really value human connection. I mean, for me, human connection is the most important thing. And yeah, I mean, it's the bee's knees, and humans are the bee's knees, so that's cool. Um, and so having that deprived in the pandemic was, really hard. I throughout a majority of the pandemic, had been living intentionally polyamorous, and so I was able to meet a lot of people. And I had this one girlfriend for I don't know, like 7 months or something, um, which fun, but it was harder to meet like friends in like a soul friend sense, because I felt like when people would want to hang out and meet as friends, like that had to be this like pre-established connection prior to the pandemic. But yet, the friends that I currently did have pre-established before the pandemic, I mean, we're all going through it, and all tired, and so it was just really hard. I mean, it was cool in the new ways that we connect, right? Like with game nights and drinking nights, whatever, over Zoom. And so those were really wonderful. But it brought up a really, really, really hard stuff for me, from the abuse. Um, again, I speak openly about it. Let me know if like it's too much. But for 2 years, I was like sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally abused. And that was really rough because I felt like I was effectively, essentially, I mean, I was like a prisoner, like a captive. I wasn't allowed to leave certain places for days on end without being like actively tracked and monitored and all these things. And that sucked. So being back in the pandemic, it brought up a lot of trauma responses for me. I felt like I was trapped again. I had no idea when this was going to end. There was a severe limit to my autonomy. And so, on the one hand, when I got out of the abuse, and the first end of the first quarter of 2019, April 2019, I dedicated myself to figuring out, like, what does human connection mean after 2 years of complete isolation? What does autonomy mean after it was deprived from me? And I was, I mean, I just deprived of personhood. Like all the things that meant so much to me and that I needed were taken away so quickly in less than a year. And then I've had to live in it in more than a year. Um, and it's better now in that I've figured out how I can still have certain amount level of autonomy and connection. But man, last summer it was rough. Had to move back home at my mom's house for a while just because it was really unsafe for me to not.